Okay, today I have a 2014 VW Golf. The customer complains about the airbag light. The airbag light, as you can see, when you start the car, all the lights go out, but the airbag light doesn't go out. And he told me that he had basically the car was involved in an accident, and he just got the car back from the bodywork, and what they done was they repaired the body of the car, and they changed passenger seat belt, driver's seat belt, and passenger's seat belt buckle. That's what he told me. So they changed 2 front seat belts and 1 buckle. They didn't change the driver's side buckle. So what I've done was, they told me that this car was in another garage for the airbag repair, but they couldn't find out what the problem is. So what we done was put the diagnostic machine on, and the car comes up with front passenger side seatbelt tensioner igniter resistance too high. So we know there's a problem with the passenger side airbag. There's 2 things that I want to explain. If the diagnostic tool tells you that passenger side seatbelt, we could have pre-tensioner, we could have seatbelt buckle. So you need to know which one it is. And another thing is, once I had a car in my garage, and that car came from another garage as well. And basically, when you put the diagnostic on, it comes up with passenger side seatbelt, but the car was from another country. So the passenger side for a non-UK car is the driver's side for us. So basically, you need to find out that the car is it's a UK model car, and go with what the tool says. Anyway, so from here, what we see is it says front passenger side seatbelt tensioner igniter resistance too high. We know on these ones, so we know it's connected, but we're gonna check anyway. If the socket is not connected, it doesn't say resistance too high. It says resistance too low, or open circuit, or something like that. Resistance too high could be 2 things. One, it could be faulty seatbelt tensioner, or it could be a fault on wiring, or it could be simply the seatbelt they fit to this car it's not a right part number for this car. It could be that as well. But anyway, I'm gonna show you how to check with a very cheap tool. I'll push the seat forward so we get access. Okay, the seat belt is on the door pillar on the passenger side. This is not the right way to take, basically, to get to the wires, because you can damage these panels, plastic panels. But when this car came to me, that's how it was. So that's why I'm just going to show you from there. So that's the seatbelt. That's the seatbelt tensioner there, seatbelt tensioner and igniter, and this is the socket for it. We can see the socket is fully plugged in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the plug out, and I'm going to use this tool, which is just a resistance. It's just the ohm. Use this tool to make sure that the seat belt is so make sure the wiring is fine. So what I'm going to do is you lift that pin up. Sorry if you can't see it. Once you lift that pin up, and then you pull the sensor out. So we have the wiring here now. So once you got the socket out, you set these to 2.7. Seat belts are usually 2.7. I'm not saying every single one of them is 2.7 ohms, but usually they are at 2.7. I can say most of the cars. So you put these 2 pins in there. By the way, you can buy this tool on eBay. It's a very cheap tool, but it's a very handy tool. It's about £10-15. So we put that in there, put these two, plug it in, and that sets on 2.7. We get back in the car. So what we do now is we read codes again. Because we disconnected it and the ignition was on, so it's going to come up with another fault code. It says front passenger side seat belt tension or ignited resistance too low. The reason this is too low is because we disconnected it while we had the ignition on. And if you pay attention, you see it's a passive code, it's not an active code. So once we erase these codes, so we have no fault code now. Turn the ignition off, turn it back on again. So if you have any more codes, it has to come up. Read codes, no fault code. Read codes again, no fault code. So to make sure, I'm going to put the phone down for a second and start the car and show you if we have airbag lights on the dash. So when you look there is no airbag light. So what we find out from this is it could be two things wrong with this car. One's their seat, but the second, by the way, they use second-hand seat belts on this car. They never put brand new ones. So there's two things could be wrong with this. The second-hand seat belt they used on the car is a faulty one, or it's a different part number, is for and belongs to another car. It's got a higher resistance in it or a lower resistance in it. It could be that as well. So the resolution is to replace the seat belt, put a brand new one, or find the old one, or find the original one for this car with the part number, get another one. Thanks for watching, guys.